Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt splice. How y'all doing? I'm Big Al and welcome back to the garage. If you're new to the channel, I hope you will take a moment to please like and subscribe. Well, today is the day you've been waiting for. After a nice 3-month hiatus, we are back to working on the cars. We are starting the festivities off with my 1965 Chevy Corvair. As you recall, I've been chasing my tail with a fuel starvation issue. I think I have it licked now. I've converted it to an electric pump, but I made a mistake. I put the pump towards the rear of the car, and you are supposed to put it to the front, near the source. Oops! So today we are going to have to do it all again. We are going to disconnect the pump, move it up here, run a wire through the transmission tunnel, and hopefully it still works after we're all done with this. So let's get to it. So I'm going to show this as best I can. The pump is up here, and unfortunately, the folks at Chevy just very inconsiderately put this spring in the way. I mean, come on, how could they have not, realized that almost 60 years later somebody would be trying to film a YouTube video? I know, the nerve of those guys, right? So let's just take this electrical tape, which is, oh boy, that's coming off a little, and I soldered it. Of course I did. Why wouldn't I? Alright, so just have to get those wire cutters and snippity snip. The ground is already disconnected. Now we just have to disconnect these fuel lines and connect that right here. Should hopefully be easy, but I am not holding my breath on that one. Okay, get these wires first and foremost. Snippity snip. Ahem, I said a snippity snip. And you're not snippity snipping. Ah, there we go. Alright. I'm gonna do this kind of half-assed way. Oh wait, I could use channel locks. You know me, I always forget every goddamn tool there is. Okay, so now we've got to disconnect the lines. That's going to be a rip-roaring blast, because I'm sure they're all pressurized, and I'm going to get a high-octane shower out of this. I'm going to move you back. And we're just going to go move this filter out. I was saying. Okay, let's get that screwdriver in here and just... maybe not. On second thought... We're going to go to the other side here. And just put Mr. Clamp back in place. And I can't get the channel locks in there. Because once again, this spring, it's just totally in the way. Really, Chevy? Come on. Think about how people might be trying to modify your car in the dim and distant future next time. My own redneck engineering at its finest. Okay. Now, that pipe is... yes, of course. Here, just gonna... I can get this one disconnected. Hopefully utilize that clamp. Okay, you're gonna hold the line. Oh, let's dump gasoline on the wires. That's really smart. Because evidently I just have a death wish. Or so it would seem. And we're just going to cheat and cut that other line. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum. Alright, about here I want to do it. Better to have too much than too little. You need more gasoline. Alright. Now, I'm gonna go like that for now. While I get this clamp off of here. And I just drenched the whole axle with gasoline. Smooth move. Well, nice idea, but no dice. Alright. Let me just get the whole pump out and I'll get some of the other clamps off of it in the meantime. Yeah, a worm clamp would probably be better anyway. Let's just get a worm clamp, much as I hate the darn things. Alright, now, can you see past this stupid spring? Nope. Right here's my hand, that's where I'm working. Right in the way. Come on, Chevy, do better next time. Oh, and I'm dripping gas on the starter. Well, it's going to be a hot minute before I... Oh, I may give new meaning to the term hot minute if I try to start this car anytime soon. Alright, that is a big worm clamp. It's going to take a few minutes. You don't need to see that. Fuel lines reconnect. Let's get the pump out. I got to go topside for that. Get that sucker right off. I got to get the bolts on my finger tight. I don't need that.
A few moments later.
Alright, that's out. That's free. Don't want to lose this. Get out of here. Oh, we need to relocate this whole assembly to the front of the vehicle. Perfect. And of course I just dribbled gasoline on myself. Alright. So if you may recall, when we did this initially, I put this fuel pump controller in here. That's super important. In the event of an accident, it will shut off the flow of fuel to the motor. It doesn't get a tachometer signal for 3 seconds, fuel cuts off, and possibly preventing a fire and potentially even saving your life. Now, I'm going to use my knockoff Leatherman multi-tool. Buddy of mine got this for me when I was in middle school, and this was one of the best birthday gifts I've ever gotten. So Matt, if you're watching this, thank you very much. This was so we're going to take this lavender wire, which goes to the positive terminal, and just put the rest of it back on. It seems like that makes the most sense to me. I'm just trying to strip the wire off camera. Just bear with me, folks. Alright. I've got these butt splice connectors from the local hardware store. Again, shout out to Johnson's Ace Hardware over in Welford. 99 times out of 100 when I'm working on this car, I end up there. So if you guys are interested in a sponsorship deal, hit me up. No joke. Let's see. Now, I think I'm going to need my vice grips for this. Here we've got it. Let me just clampity. This is how I'm supposed to do it. Quick squeeze with the vice grips. Try not to give yourself a blood blister in the process. I'll do those later. Alright. Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt splice. I know, I'm a child of the 90s, deal with it. So, we are going to run this through the hole. I'll probably pack that with something, but let's not get stuck around. Oh, and as you can see, I put the stock 140 air cleaner with the 2 snorkels on it. Just thought it looked cooler. Okay, I'll pull this wire through, get the wheel back on, jack the front end of the car up, and we will move major combat operations up front. Okay, so I don't really like the look of this fender well while I'm in here. I'm going to take this high temp paint, we're going to do a little restoration. But now I'm going to have to do the other side. Hey, this is the way Pole Barn Garage does it. He has an awesome channel, by the way. Taking a bit more restoration than I thought. Here we are, one half-butt restoration. I think, while I'm at it, I may just hit this with a little rust encapsulator. Just not get it on the bushing, and we'll be okay. Well, as threatened, I'm going to take this Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer, basically Poor Man's POR 15. Careful around that brake hose. There we go. I know a lot of people are probably gasping in horror right now, but hey, can't argue with that. It looks a bazillion times better. Let's get the wheel back on. Okay, so here's the story. I gotta drill a hole here. It's about the only place the pump can go. I've gotta cut this line, connect it. There's a ground here I'm going to connect to. So, yeah, let me get started on that. So we've got our mounting hole drilled, and this is where our ground is going to go. Let me take care of that now. Alright, so our pump is installed, and we have to just get the new fuel line on it. So this isn't going to work. Of course, now the worm clamp is facing backwards, because that's how it always happens. Let me get this off, and we'll deal with that. Okay, it's the next morning. I had to move the pump because it wasn't going to work here because the sending unit empties here. I couldn't loop the fuel line around. So I'm going to disconnect it here, move it here, trim it to length, and run a new piece here. I've got the vice grip clamping things off so that I don't get another gasoline shower like I got last night. That happened off camera, thank God. Alright, so I'm going to just turn this off, get to it, and then I'll update you when it's done. Alright folks, here I am, day 3 of this job. The pump is installed. I had to get these 90-degree fittings to make it work, based on some advice from the Corvair group on Facebook. To drill 2 more holes here, to let the fuel line come through, pass through, and in here, and into here without, kinking it. As I've said in the past, I like kinky women, but not kinky fuel lines. I've got it wired up temporarily. We're going to test it now. Make sure it works. Oh, and this clamp is to keep this from kinking. Let's fire it up, see what happens. Moment of truth time. Let's see if it all works. Hey, it works. Oh, shit. Well, folks, I'm an idiot, and that was close. I forgot the car was on jack stands. We're in neutral now. Come on, baby. Hey, we got fast idle. Let's go look under the car. I'm running out of memory. Alright, we've got a leak. Let me determine where it's coming from and stop it. Think we have no leaks. Alright. Okay, our fuel pump is in. We just need to wire it up. The transmission tunnel is sealed up. Just got to finalize the wiring and we are done. Okay, so we are back in the garage after a successful test drive. It was a bit more of an effort than I thought it would be, but we are back, we are safe, and that is it for this installment. I hope you will please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next round.